grocery store, and their grocery store was just right in front of Beth's thing, and Beth bought all of her groceries from Liza, but Liza let Beth have all of the groceries well, a lot of times she just gave her the groceries, because Liza and Ella ate over there almost every day, and then of course on Sundays Beth had her big meal, and she was just an unusual person. She was also a retired nurse.
Yeah.
And she had a lot of relatives. My Aunt Will, she lived there for years, and she died 3 weeks before her 100th birthday. And she kept all of the ladies there doing something. I've got all of the coat hangers that they did with the cloth, and they wrapped all the coat hangers. And she had, each one of them were at an age where they could only do so much. Aunt Will's eyesight was real bad, but she could.
But back up and tell them about the quilting room.
Oh, she had one whole room set up as quilting rooms, and that's why I brought these quilts. She made.
That's when she was younger, right?
Oh yeah. Well, she was younger, but it's amazing. When you're small, you think everyone is old. And she just always, and Miss Annie Harper that Aunt Coraline lived with, she asked Mother one day how grandmother was, and Mother said 72, and she said, Miss Annie, how old are you? And she said, well, how long has the world been standing? And I'm not kidding you. She looked as old, she never aged, but as I remember her for years, she's the one that built the church over here.
Mossman, her last name.
The Mossman Hall. And Rita and I would walk home from school every afternoon, and she would always come out there and pray with both of us, which I'm sure both of us needed prayers. But I didn't do it, but I was in the generation of, she did build that, and she always played religious music in the tower part. Well, there was a bunch of them our age that got up there, and they put different music on, and they were playing all kinds of Elvis Presley, and so I just remember so much of my childhood of everybody's house in Melrose, because Liza didn't get out of the grocery store till, they didn't close till 7, so it was later when she got out. My dad worked in Palatka. He didn't get home till after 7. So Rita and I, around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and we could never go over on this side of town. We always had to stay on that side of town. But around 4 o'clock.
The two sides of town were divided by the Bellamy Road.
26. She didn't go on the other side of 26.
Bellamy Road.
Yeah. Yeah.
So around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Rita and I we would have been home from school, and so we started our rounds because we were fairly hungry, and they weren't my aunt and uncle, but Aunt Molly and Uncle Bud. She taught school, so Uncle Bud they lived next door to Mother. He always had supper ready, or a meal ready for her when she got home from school around 4. So that was the first house that we started. And we would just make our rounds, and we loved everybody in Melrose, and we thought everybody else loved us.
Did something change?
So we would just eat kind of what we wanted, what they had. Then we would go to the next house, and we would.
And you knew Bess Lyons' house.
Oh yeah, and she always. Now she was a very.
You know, Eliza is. Rita is Eliza's
daughter.
Yeah, is her daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and so Eliza and Bess were very good friends. So of course they were in and out of those homes. So the Robinson's grocery store leads to the back door of Bess's.
Right.
Yeah.
So and she said, as I recall, you told me that Bess would often put Eliza's name on stuff
Oh yeah.
that she made. That was frequent.
Oh, yes, they did. And back then, everybody just,
And she thinks Eliza on the quilt was actually made by Bess.
Because she put Eliza
Eliza's
on.
name on everything.
so.
Now-
And Bess was the only one, and like I say, I can't think of really any house in Melrose that Rita and I have not been in. And,
Come up with Burden.
hmm?
You found Burden.
she was the only person that I ever really remember having a quilt.
Sounds like they had one male quilter maybe.
I
And,
found it
room.
in Bertha.
she had it in,
There's the birth
it
on
was
that.
called her
Bertha
sunroom,
key.
and she had it all set up. And,
Burton sounds like a man to me. He was just a token.
So left this with me, which is, well, first of all, she left all about the Melrose Inn, but also a list, the latest record book from the Melrose Cemetery. And so I went through it,
Oh, yeah.
and I looked for names that matched up here.
Yes.
Oh, good.
And then their dates of birth and death. And I don't know if any of them are right, but I thought maybe Pat could tell me. I found 3 Nellies that were alive at that time, all born between 1891 and 1897. Nellie Guthrie, Nellie Roundtree, and Nellie Thompson.
you know, Roundtree is the one that has, the tombstone I was telling you.
Oh, yeah. But which one do you think is the Nellie on that quilt?
Probably
Just,
not her.
it didn't have an initial after, it
It
just had
it
Nellie.
does have an initial after it with an F.
Yeah.
Well, this has Nellie M. Guthrie, Nellie Roundtree with no initial, and Nellie V. Thompson.
So we think
I
it's
would
round.
Does
think it
that
would be the
Thompson?
Roundtree.
It's probably Nellie Roundtree.
Roundtree.
Yes, I
And
would
she
think.
was also well known around here, Nellie
Well,
Roundtree.
the Roundtree
so-
family still, you know, they were
Yeah.
from Earlton, but they were very much a part
So
of
3
Melrose.
Nellies.
Hmm?
3
3
Nellies.
Nellies that were born in the time span that could have been there then.
And I remember all 3 of those families, but I think it would probably be the Roundtree family because their family, they're the ones that drove the school bus to Melrose, and a lot of times she would leave the school bus in town and do different, she was very involved in town activities.
Why don't you sit down?
So-
And she was born in 1891 and died in 1979.
It's-
And then
They're all probably in the 30s or early
I went
20s.
to her
But the
funeral.
I think this-
But the S is.
yeah, that's what
Was
you
the
had mentioned, so
tombstone
I
there?
thought that would kind of
Was the
fit.
tombstone there then?
You know when your aunt
Well,
was
they
born.
didn't have the
Yeah.
She was
tombstone until
26
after
when they
her.
did it, so how old
her
was she
burial.
then? 30 something?
Well, I didn't write it
I mean,
down,
she
but she
never
would have been
knew
30
that they did
something,
that to
yeah,
her
early
tombstone.
30s or something.
I thought it was just her son,
just-
somebody else.
Does she know the house?
You
where this
remember
was done?
Anna Jo
She's telling us
Rainbow.
that that's the house
Yeah.
that was done in?
That was her nephew.
quilt.
We think it was done in my great aunt's house, Coraline's sister.
In the
It
quilting
was
room.
right out back, Bess, right out
Yes,
back
ma'am.
from
Yes,
Robinson's
right.
grocery store.
And it still is.
Which is,
Yeah. well,
yeah,
you know,
only the garage is still here.
Yeah, and I just
Bess's
saw in the
garage
paper, I was
is
reading
still
it
across from the
a
Lion
few minutes
Baptist.
ago.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah,
house
did
was
you know
torn
that
down a
Tommy
few years
Cox
ago.
was
Behind
But
the
this,
homemakers.
this
Oh.
Melrose
I didn't
Inn,
either.
she
It's
was
in the
such a good
obituary.
cook
It's in the paper.
Yeah.
It was
that
in the paper.
she,
In Gainesville?
she had
No,
people from
no,
Jacksonville and
on
Gainesville
Trip.
getting reservations and coming out.
Usually on Sundays,
And
wasn't
it
that the
said
big
that,
deal
um,
on Sundays?
The funeral.
On Sundays, yeah.
So be,
They made the homemade ice cream
I know,
and I'm
it's
sure my
Saturday,
grandmother
but-
had the same recipe. And
Well, he
I
must
really
have
am,
been here all the
and,
time.
yeah, he did that on
This is Bob
Facebook.
Cooper.
but she even had the governor
This is
come.
where Bob
When
Cooper
Dixie
lived,
all
right?
Yeah, so it
And
was
you
quite
wanted to
something.
make it into your
Hey,
mother's.
Bob Cooper was Elaine's friend, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I didn't
Right.
know him.
Yeah,
They
but
did.
you wanted
That
that
Did you?
house
I
for your
did
mother.
too, for sure.
No, actually,
He was short.
We were just looking at that house.
somebody else was looking at it, I was helping him look at it, but he didn't buy it. I'm interested in it.
Okay, you want the next name?
Next
Yeah.
name.
Okay,
Wait.
The original telephone thing, when they,
When they first put telephones in.
I've got all of that at the house, and he was one of the instigators of getting telephone service here in Melrose.
Well, if suddenly your house is broken into, you'll know who did it.
Bertha, What are you asking?
Okay, Bertha, I don't know who Bertha is. I found one Bertha Sampson, 1872, so a little bit younger, older, 1965.
I've heard of.
Could that be the Bertha's, what I'm wondering? Now, this was Bertha M. Sampson, and that says Bertha P. So I'm guessing it's not right, but
Mhm.
I don't know. It was the only one that, and it
Okay,
is
it's
possible in my scanning that I missed somebody in here.
They possibly moved away too.
Alright. Not everyone was buried at the cemetery.
Right.
Here.
Well, like Dorothy Cross.
You know, she was born, she was buried in Live Oak. Of course, that's where Uncle Charlie had all of his,
So then
I mean,
there's,
she was raised in.
But that's
Live
a
we'll
Oak.
go
place
on
to
to
start.
Helen, and there's a Helen, I have three. Helen B. Kennedy, Helen W. Marshall, and Helen Sampson, another Sampson.
Helen W. Marshall's my
Hmm?
mother-in-law.
Oh, really?
So that's Terry's mother. So that's not her.
I think it was probably Kennedy.
Probably a Kennedy. In 1926, she would have been 21. So that would fit with you.
See, when Massa Sue worked at the inn, she was probably,
Helen has a J.
and she was at least probably 18 when she worked there.
Yeah.
It's
I,
almost-
I,
That's
Sarah
not
Jackson.
finish, that's almost the same
Helen.
form as that.
There wasn't, it was Henry, no, what, Gerald?
and the thing is, she could have been using
What
her,
was Harry's sister's name?
her middle
wasn't
name before
Harry?
her maiden
What
name,
was
so you
his
don't really
sister's
know,
name?
I can't count on the J.
Almost looks
Harry's
like the
sister's name
flower.
was Harriet.
Yeah.
Harriet, yeah,
Okay,
that's
so we go to
Helen.
Millie.
Jay.
Yeah, I love Millie.
There were a lot of
Millie
Nellies.
what?
There were quite a few Nellies that I knew.
Where am I now? Oh, well, the Nellies, yeah, we did the Nellies, Guthrie, Roundtree, and Thompson.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
and you thought it was Roundtree?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we have, a Millie Warwick, 1898 to 1938, and I only have one buried at the cemetery.
Millie.
Oh. So I don't know if it's her or not, but that one fits. Have you ever heard the name Millie Warwick?
No, but I would be surprised if Aunt Will's name's not on there, but I don't know. We called her Aunt Will. I don't know what her regular name is. And
It
I would
wouldn't be
imagine she-
Millie, would it?
I don't know, it could be, it
If
seems.
you called her Will, it'd be Willie. I mean, Willie Ward Lyon was my great grandmother that lived with Aunt Bess.
Okay, that's probably
I think
Yeah.
that's who you're thinking
Yeah.
of. Anyway, it might be Millie Warwick. Tell them about your thoughts on the Essie. You told me you thought that might be Effie May.
oh yeah, Effie Mae Barnett.
Oh, this is gonna
Oh,
be
yeah.
juicy.
I-
The way she rolled her eyes.
Rita and I call each other Effie Mae and Miss Beth. They were the
Would you
town
quit
whatever.
batting your eyes and spit it
So she
out?
was in her quilting room all the time, and even though it says ECCLES, she says she
I
still
think
thinks
it's
it's Effie.
EFF.
She still thinks it's F.
I think it's Effie Mae.
Because
I
they
can't
made
think of
S's and
anything
F's and
ECC
everything
anyway.
so funny at that
Eccles.
time.
Oh yeah, Effie Mae. Oh yeah, she would definitely be on there.
So it looks like an ECCLES to me, but she swears by Effie May. So, okay, so then there's
I'm sure Effie Mae would be on there.
oh, Clyde. Interesting. Cora Lyon's brother, Clyde, also Bess's brother, married a Millie who immigrated from Poland, and they lived in California. But it's possible the Millie was actually Cora's sister-in-law.
Which
I
Cora
can't
would
follow
probably see that her name got put on there.
Yeah.
I would
So
think.
my thought is that's who that Millie really is.
Mm.
Okay, So see, it's all leading back to Robinson's Cruiser. Okay, so there are two Sarahs.
See, Bess's house was pretty much, just kind of like Mother's house. When anyone passed away in Melrose and they would come to clean out anybody's house, they'd say, Thelma, I have no idea who these people are with all these pictures, and we hate to throw them away.
And she took.
Could you maybe find out, you know? And Mother pretty much knew and didn't write a name on any of them, who they were. So I have boxes and boxes of pictures when Joe Dower came.
Jean's drooling.
When Joe and Rosemary came to Melrose, he set up his whole basement as a photography studio. He came to Mom and he said, Thelma, I will give you all the pictures back if you'll just let me borrow them and make pictures. So Mother said, you can take all you want. So he did. He would come and get boxes at a time, and he would go through them and pictures that he wanted to make. He made, so pretty much every picture that Joe made,
Came from your mother's stash.
and I still
Yeah.
have all of those original pictures at the house, and I don't know who they belong. I mean, a lot of them I kind of know, but I don't really know.
Well, I thought Rosemary went around, she heard that she said there were a lot of them at the library. The library found boxes of pictures and called them,
Yeah, well,
and that's another source.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
Rosemary went around and talked to the old timers
yeah.
and tried to identify things.
You see, Aunt Wood put a lot of the boxes down there, Mother's sister, Wood Watkins, which was the founder of the
Right.
Alan Smith.
Right.
And Mother just had, like I say, boxes of it, so Aunt Wood would put a lot of them down there, and she'd say, Mom, just let everybody in Melrose go through them and see if they recognized anybody or whatever else. I mean, Mother literally had boxes and boxes of pictures because people didn't want to throw those pictures out, but
So she was the depository.
my mother was born in that house in 1910, and she
Want to see a
was
picture
just-
of Pat?
So the lady that the house will be moved into, her last name was Hardage. Does that ring a bell? Hardage.
Hardnett or Harnett?
Tyson?
No, Doc is a man.
Electrician?
Yeah, the Doc and
Mom,
Carl
yeah.
were electricians.
Well, I knew John Mason Tyson was the electrician in Gainesville.
Might be kin to him, I don't know.
Then there's a Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Tyson's chicken.
No, this,
Or the
I
boxer.
just saw him in Gainesville. So
You ready to go on?
Yes, I mean,
Okay, two Sarahs.
two Sarahs.
Now, the records are really good that in this book, except for a couple pages. And this one has Sarah P. Husband,
Oh,
who
yeah.
was born in 1875 and died in 1994.
No, incorrect.
Yeah.
Could it have been 120 or,
Yeah, she'd be 119.
excuse me,
Well,
I was
I've known a lot
rounding
of people.
wrong.
Anyway, so maybe she really did live that
Yeah.
long. But anyway, there was a Sarah P. Husbands and a Sarah C. Jeffords.
It would be their husband.
It'd be husbands.
Yeah.
Okay, there you have another name.
Yeah.
Maybe she was
Yeah,
born a
that's-
little
that's-
later.
they were all
than
kids.
them. Maybe it was really 90s.
Look at Royce.
The 9 was 7 was wrong.
I think that's right.
Yeah, Uncle Roy's sister, Edna Alderman, she passed away at 106. She was out
No.
picking up pecans.
People back here, if you really start looking, I mean, my great grandmother, Willie Ward Lyon, was 99.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Okay, Lena's, Lena?
Leona.
It's very hard for me to tell what's up there. Lenora. Okay, so there is a Lena McLeod.
Oh, yeah.
There is a Leona Elizabeth Poole.
No, it would be the McLeod.
A Leona Wimberly.
Yeah, I knew that. No, that she lived on Hawthorne. No, it would be.
You think it's
McLeod.
You think it's Leona Elizabeth Poole or Lena McLeod?
McLeod.
McLeod.
Yeah.
Now Lena
Well,
McLeod.
It says Lenora E. what it says. It's Lenora.
Yeah, and so I don't know, there was no Lenora, so these are the closest I could find. And Lena McLeod died in 1958. She was born in 1867, so she doesn't fit your 20s, 30s.
Yeah.
So maybe
She
it
was
was.
some kin somehow, I don't know exactly how,
Uh-huh.
to some of us.
But she's a Lena, so
Yeah.
I don't know. But I'm sorry, that's all she writes right
Well,
now.
you did a lot.
However,
Thank you.
There's a
I
Clarissa
have
up there.
also found a guy who says he knows another guy who really knows quilts. And he's gonna give me his name in January or something, and I'll try to pursue that and see if he knows that pattern at all.
So is there Clarissa?
Or the names, cause he's also from around here.
Is there Clarissa up there? Did I not see that one up there, Clarissa?
I don't know, and I'm not sure, I looked
The
for
second to the,
Clarissa.
from the top.
Oh, yeah, it's up at the,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Clarissa J.
and,
Jay.
Actually, it's Chrissy.
Chrissy.
yeah, I did look,
Chrissy J.
I looked for a Christine,
Chrissy.
a Chris, anyway, I didn't see anything.
It's Chrissy. You know
I may have
Chrissy?
missed it.
Chrissy J.
Chrissy J.
Pat's working on it. It's gonna pop out.
I could ask Rita, I can get all
Kathy,
these.
yeah, ask Rita.
Rita lived right
Let me give you a piece of paper with you.
No, I was, what was I, 15 or so when we left from ours? Maybe 16,
What?
15.
You didn't change high school, you still go to school here, you just live.
Okay, there's also a Burden.
Bertha.
Yeah, we live in a burden.
Oh, Burden.
Do you know Burden?
She thinks it's a guy.
Well, there's no last initial.
B-U-R-D-O-N or
It's
E-N?
Looks like E.
Be my
Anyway, do you
burden.
know a Burden? Who else was up there that we haven't?
Maybe they thought this was just a burden to do this.
That is
There may be
that
some-
is the amazing red, the Turkish red.
So
that-
Lori can
that's
show
really
any other
old.
names that I haven't gotten to.
I see Larry's got the names down, Turkish red.
That's a detail that I got from
This is
somebody.
your chance.
Political people eat at her inn because Jimmy Cross was married to Dorothy Huffman Cross, and they would always come, and Bess always had her big thing on Sundays where anyone could come.
And she had a great reputation for cooking.
Oh, and her rolls were just, oh my, but she was
She
very.
did all the cooking
If you'll
herself.
notice in that article that Martha Sue wrote, Bess was a sticker for being clean. She just was spotless. And I don't know if it's because she was a nurse or what, but that was something
Well,
that Rita and I, we
my
always had
grandmother's home, her sister was always clean.
Yes.
I never actually saw them clean so
Yeah,
much.
when
but-
Rita and I came in, I guess she thought we were walking germs. I remember. We had to take our shoes off. First thing we had to do was.
No, we know cousins, Rita and you.
Rita Robinson.
Yes.
Lynn.
We y'all cousins?
No, we're
Si-
like sisters.
But
Best-
not, you were
best
friends, but like sisters.
Yeah, yeah.
Cause they both were free at night, because the parents worked.
We were the town children.
And visit houses and get food from
And I
every
don't know,
house.
I don't know if you ever remember where the Kaysen house is behind Mama's house. Mr. Kaysen used to love his pepper garden, hot pepper garden, which was a no-no for us to ever go in his hot pepper
Now,
garden.
is that the empty lot there behind you?
No,
No, it's right in the corner.
it's the house right behind. Well, there's Mother's house, then there's the
Going
long way
down.
on behind it, and
Right.
then the little house right
On
there.
Lexington, the first one on
Okay.
Lexington.
So, anyway, that was just a no-no. Wow. The peppers were beautiful. They were green, they were red, they were yellow peppers. So Rita and I decided we would go in Mr. Cason's, because we knew what time they took a nap in the afternoon, but they took a nap.
Like the Marshall.
And we got in their pepper thing and we made a bouquet. Well, we didn't know the hot peppers could get all over our
Eyes
hands and so anyway, we were
The
in
evidence
terrible,
was there that you were.
we were in terrible shape after making this beautiful bouquet. I don't know what we were gonna do with the bouquet, but anyway, we went across the street to, we called her Aunt Maggie. She was Rita's aunt, Maggie Steiner. But anyway, we went across the street.
The
and
wrong side of the street,
Aunt Maggie,
Oh,
she
across
got
the
her
street.
butter and her lard and everything down and just, we were in terrible shape though for days with all of those peppers. But,
Did you get caught by him?
well, not that I remember. Oh,
They had their
things,
punishment.
different things were kept a little secret. I was telling Ruth about our adventure with our fish. Judge Tolles had a nice boathouse down where William Chapetti lives now. Well, Rita and I, when we'd get up in the morning, we knew we had to be home by dark. That was one of the stipulations. So we'd get up in the morning and we'd make some type of sandwich. But this one day we made hot dogs. And we'd always go down to the bay and then there's no telling where we'd go from there. Well, it was as hot as it could be, so we decided, which was everybody in town knew that you did not go in Judge Tolles' boathouse. But it had the nicest wooden thing around it and all, and Rita and I were so hot. We said, they also took naps in the afternoon, so we knew what time that he wouldn't be down at the lake. We knew he wouldn't be out doing the real hot time. So we took our sandwiches and our little lunch and we went over and hung our feet on the ledge there in the boathouse. Well, we had a little bit of a hot dog left, so we saw fishing poles. So we decided to fish. Well, apparently Judge Tolles fed his fish from the boathouse or whatever, but we caught this huge bass. I think Miss Nancy said it weighed almost 12 pounds. Well, we didn't know how to get a fish off this fishing pole that we knew we had to put back. And Miss Nancy Bigelow, Miss Ruth and Miss Nancy, they lived were Ruth Marie. That was their niece, Ruth Marie Bryant, that they left the house to. Do you know where that is?
Yeah, it's the one with the lightning rods. It's
Oh,
on Quail,
on
just
Quail,
down from.
Yeah. So anyway,
The red roof.
Miss Nancy was always on the lake by 5 o'clock every morning. She was an avid, and then Miss Ruth, they were sisters, but they were all maids. And Miss Ruth, she taught school. So we took the fishing pole and we went to Miss Nancy's and we said, we were in tears because we just knew.
Is this fish flopping on the pole the whole
Oh,
time?
yeah.
Running down the
It
road
was
with it.
horrible. And it was a huge
And it was 8 pounds too.
Well,
I mean, did you drag it?
Huh?
Did you drag the
Oh,
fish?
yeah, it was just, it was terrible. No, I think we tried to put it in our bag that we had our lunch thing in, but it just kept flopping all over. And Rita would take it a while and I'd take it a while. But anyway, we went to Miss Nancy, we knew better than to go to her front door, cause Miss Ruth always didn't really let us in unless we were really clean and all. In the front door, so we went to the back door and she came to the back door.
I don't think she let kids in anyway.
And we told her what had happened and she said, girls, you knew you shouldn't be doing, well, we were crying and we were so upset. She says, don't worry about it, I'll handle it. So I said, well, we gotta get the fishing poles back down, so Judge Tolles, I knew he was a very particular, he knew where everything was, so anyway, she said, girls, just don't say anything. She said, I will handle it. Well, our mouths were shut as they could be. And so she did. She took the fishing poles back down there she cleaned that fish. Now Miss Nancy, she wore big boots, black boots, and wore an apron and black. I told Ruth it was like, I don't know if you've ever watched Home Alone, where that woman with the birds and all, and she was just, I mean, she was kind of scary dressed anyway, but she always dressed that way. So anyway, Ruth did mingle some, but they were kind of to themselves like the Lee sisters. But we were, Miss Nancy, she cleaned that fish, and she went over and gave it, and she said, I just want to, she went over to Judge Tolles in Virginia, and she said, I have this fish. She didn't say I caught it. She said, I have this fish, and I cleaned it and thought maybe y'all might like a fish. Well, Virginia came right over to Mom's, and she had said, Thelma, you would never believe who came to our house and brought us this fish, all clean and everything. Miss Nancy never, ever, I don't think she ever went to anybody's house, ever. Well, I mean, it was just, and of course, we didn't. Oh, we didn't say a
the word
word.
got all over town, right?
Huh?
The word got all over town that she
Oh,
had
no.
brought this fish.
Oh, well, yeah, Miss,
Not
Virginia.
Virginia
said-
told
Oh,
everybody.
yeah, she just said, and boy, I mean, we didn't say a thing to,
Cause it's
Mother
surprising.
never knew it for years. Till really after Miss Nancy and Virginia and, Judge
But you
Tolles
found
died.
out that night that your mother knew that Nancy had brought Virginia that fish,
Yeah.
Judge Tolles that
Mm,
fish.
yeah.
And you said you could keep a secret.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I have actually written this up, and I'm gonna put it in, I may put it in a newsletter. for
Don't
Sam.
put my name on it, 'cause there might still be people in
My
there.
lips are still sealed.
I mean, the story got out, but they don't
Everybody
have
is
any,
dead.
they don't have any idea who did.
Well, if I say the town kids, everybody knows who that is.
That's probably true. Definitely different
Yeah,
people in Melrose, so as a child, I think you pick up on that more so than, I mean, we knew everybody, but
yeah, I mean, the
it
other
was
sister,
kinda stuck in our mind of knowing what they wore, what made them so different.
yeah. Yeah, the other sister, Cora, Bess, and Ruth, who I'm named after, my grandmother, was actually up in Duluth, Minnesota at this time. So when I first walked in and saw 1926, I thought, oh, my grandmother didn't move back here till 43. But in actuality, the whole family had moved over here from Interlaken in the early, around
Yeah.
1900.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Mm,
and they actually started at Putnam Hall
mhm.
in the 1880s, then went to Interlaken for a number of years.
Yeah, see, so did the Watkins family, which Aunt Boy married Uncle Rory Watkins, and they were born in that house there in Putnam Hall, and then they all married fairly local.
Now, one of the Chepennies was born in my grandmother's house in the 30s. I know that much.
Really?
Uh-huh.
In the Chepennies,
One of the 7 brothers was born, they had rented that house in the 1930s.
they lived in a lot of different houses in
Yeah, they
Melrose.
did, I guess. Anyway, I don't know where William was born, but it was one of those
It's probably
ones.
buried.
Yeah, that was later. John Paul was born in that, the gray house, like in front of our yellow house, the 2-story old house.
Mhm.
And I think maybe his older sister was too. And then they lived down at Ruth, your
Yeah.
aunt's house.
Yeah, you always
Then they
think of my
lived
Aunt
out-
Ruth,
They lived out on,
because I had an aunt named Ruth too.
I do
Wait,
have to
on
say
Rosa.
that the people on Ridge Road they were from the north, most of them,
Mhm.
other than Mr. Pearsall.
Well,
They were not as friendly to Rita and I.
Well, Pearsall
as-
was from New Jersey.
Well, Ruth was from Interlock, and they'd come
Yeah.
from South Carolina.
Oh, I know that, but I'm talking
But
about.
her husband had actually come from Duluth and was orphaned and moved to Interlochen when he was 11, raised by a,
Interlochen used to be a real
Raised by a-
resort
Mhm.
town. A lot of
Oh, it
people-
was on the
Yeah.
railroad.
In Green Coast Springs.
Cayuga,
raised
yeah.
on the- You know Hastings in Atlanta? Not related to Hastings over in, you don't know it. It was the nursery in Atlanta.
So how do you think then the quilt ended up at our place?
I don't know where your place was, but I have no idea, but it was near
If
the
it was
cemetery.
About
Banana,
three
it
quarters,
was in Banana.
yeah,
It wasn't even
about
in
3/4 of a
Rose.
mile south of the light.
I bet it's related to, I don't know, Bess.
But it is, it's closer to Banana than it was to
I mean,
Melrose.
who actually
Well,
owned
that
the court?
church at the cemetery,
Do you
the
think they
cemetery
could
was
have
considered Banana.
Auctioned
Oh, the
quilt,
cemetery
or
was.
do you think they
Huh?
gave it to somebody,
The quilt wasn't
or?
even finished.
It was just a
The quilt
top.
Oh, it was
wasn't
never
even
finished,
It was
that's
a quilt
right.
top.
It was
So-
real frayed. I
So
mean,
maybe they gave it to somebody to finish quilting? Or
Possibly.
maybe,
And then it was just
I mean,
folded
who
up
was
and
in that
stuck on the
house
shelf.
before? Do you have any idea?
we just do the person.
So that's your homework, to go find out the
you can
historical
find it.
records on that house.
I'm trying to picture where was,
Yeah, I don't know
you
where
say
that
south
house
of
was.
Melrose, where?
South of Felicity. Do you remember where Felicity's house was? Felicity Trueblood?
It's not far out of town.
You know, the
Just
road
leave it-
didn't go straight then, it went by
Is it
there and
past-
went
was
by
it on
the
the-
Perry's.
I know where the Cabordi house.
Is the two houses.
South of
Just-
Gabordi's.
Okay, was it on the opposite side of the street?
Same side of the street.
Oh, same side of the street,
They
okay.
talk like the road wound by them, like it went by the Perry's road, by the Perry houses. It wasn't straight, like it was straightened out
You're right on
after that.
21?
Okay.
Yeah.
And we were our house was the house south of the Gabordi house, just woods in between, and then
Okay.
that got.
So Gabordi's house was that sort of age, and then that was that sort of age.
Mhm.
And then the
Okay.
Perry's house
I
was
mean,
that
how
age.
far in miles was it from the Alliance Cemetery?
Half a mile,
Half a mile, and it was on the same side as the
Mhm.
cemetery?
yeah.
Well, is Price still around?
Mhm.
Did Jimmy Price die?
Oh, yeah.
But there's a
He
Price
only-
book.
He only died just not too many years ago.
Yeah, there's a Price
No,
book.
he didn't,
that's-
yeah, he didn't die very long
Oh,
ago.
It
oh.
would've
Last time I
connected.
talked to him, it was only 5 years ago, I
Would have
guess.
connected to that.
I think
road.
Yeah.
COVID put a blank in there.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well, now the prices,
he gave me
And
pictures
the
of himself when he was a
Ford
little kid.
married,
Cool.
I got
Oh, man,
a
Price.
landmark for the
then owned the
Melrose
grocery
Methodist
store
Church.
here,
He was,
which was just
he
right
was there
across
when he was
from.
a little kid.
Oh,
Huh.
kids.
So I
So
talked to
the-
him at some
Oh, wait a
point.
Well,
minute.
it's-
It wasn't the one that
It's
was
torn down
across,
now,
but
but
he
he
was
was in
stored
his
down
90s.
across from the line.
Uh-huh.
That's the only thing we kept from that building, was that. Everything
Yeah.
else went to the dump. There were a few letters to Mrs. Hardy's, we should have kept those, but I didn't keep them, because it had her name on it, just
Yeah.
as an address. But-
That could have easily crossed over like that because of the prices were big ones in the Methodist church, and then of course when I married Carl and then Polly married Jimmy, they became Baptists.
That's right, that's right.
Ah,
I remember when Carl used to go take his folks to the Methodist church on Sunday morning, you and the girls went to.
Yeah.
Well,
the
Carl
Baptist.
Hagelin's father gave the fellowship hall to the Methodist church.
Whose
It's
father?
named after him.
Oh,
Carl.
yeah.
so this would be a Methodist church connection. I see. I'm thinking it's a Lyam all the time, but it's
No,
It
actually,
could be inner,
both.
I mean, Ruth was head of the women's Methodist group.
oh yeah.
But that
So
was
the
obviously
Baptist
later, that was in the
Baptist.
40s, but
Oh.
yeah, they
Her
had a
sister was
Methodist
Methodist.
connection.
Her sister was Methodist.
Bess was, yeah.
What about Eliza?
Yeah.
Was she Methodist or
But-
Baptist?
Baptist and Methodist back then, it wasn't, Harry Jackson used to be a Methodist too. I mean, he was raised in the Methodist church and then,
Yeah, it was the
He
church you
married
went
a
to,
Baptist.
it was just.
and probably the church your family went to before.
Yeah, and I mean, all churches, I know when little Carl was born, Fred Yerkes came over. I mean, we were as much a part of the Episcopal church.
That's
all
true.
of us. We were just, we
As
went all
teenagers,
of
we
us
would do
teenagers
whatever-
went
whatever.
on.
Well, dances
Yeah,
at the
whatever was
church
going
and
on,
yeah.
we all went.
Yeah, they had the hall.
You know, the Baptists didn't allow dancing, so we always came down to the Baptist.
Yeah, or the Episcopal Church to dance, yeah.
I mean, that whole section over there was so close to each other, you know,
And he
I
was
don't
so
think it mattered, it doesn't matter now what church
No.
you go to.
he was real excited
I mean,
that
we're in and out of each other's houses.
we had named little Carl. Of course, it was after Carl was our Carl. Little Carl was a junior, but his middle name was Frederick, which Fred Yerkes.
Fred Yerkes? Oh,
He
sweet.
was so excited that it was going to be another Fred around.
Is that related to the Yerkes Institute at Emory University?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
It's just an odd name.
It's just
Yeah.
a big family. They were the Yerkes, was the big
Hardware
store
store.
in Jacksonville, like in the 30s.
When his brother,
Okay.
They were from Jacksonville.
his brother was
originally.
on the, Girl Scout board. I was on it in Jacksonville for the council. And he wasn't anything like Yerkes.
Well, he was one of a kind from the Yerkes, so.
Really? He came from Wells.
Mhm.
Yeah, they
Oh,
had
yeah.
a hardware store, the only hardware
Yeah.
store.
Yeah.
Well,
You
that's
never know
the other
it.
I knew
thing is
his
to go
family
through
in
church
Jacksonville.
rolls
Yeah.
and
And
find
you're right, he
names on
wasn't
church
anything
rolls
like his
from that,
brother.
from the 1920s. So if we went through the Episcopal rolls and the Baptist rolls and the Methodist rolls,
There was
if they
also
had
a
the
Lutheran
records,
church here.
you kept better records.
Oh, there was, and that's on Quail, or like
Mhm.
Quail, yeah. That gray building.
Yeah,
They took the bell tower off. And
well, that wasn't was it still a church in 26?
it was a church because when they disbanded, because we let them use our church for their
Uh-huh.
services while they were getting organized. And then they gave us our hymn board in the church, and our lectern, I think, came from that church when they disbanded.
But when did they disband? I mean, they built it
It
in
was-
what, 1905?
What church was that?
The Lutheran church.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah,
the
there,
Fords.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be another one, but there's probably no records on it.
No, I don't know where the records, they're probably, there's a little bit in Z's book. I don't remember the name of it, might have been St. Luke's or something.
But they did, and so she has that beautiful pink stone down there. And Eddie Joe was the instigator of it, yeah. And so they put to the rich bitch.
I've seen
They were very upset that she left all
That
of
she
the
left the
money.
money to the animals and not to them.
Yeah,
Oh, my goodness.
so
And she lived in,
for the covering of the
the
the mattress or whatever you want to call it, yeah. But in that
Doll bed.
neat?
You're in the same quandary as I am. What do you do with these things?
But the quilting
Yeah.
room, and would she get with other people to make these, or
Yeah,
this
and
was
then
all
she,
on her?
did you see the ones that she made for their crib?
She put one right here.
Added a little dog.
I just.
And this is probably when I don't say when she first started out, but this would have been in the 60s. So they're about, well, Kathy's what, 58, 57?
And ours were in
So
the early.
they're at least 57, one of them's at least 57 years old, and the other one will be shortly thereafter, so.
Did she make one for Carl?
She made the big quilt.
Yeah.
That one. But she did make the doll bed
Yeah.
for him. She did for the three girls.